All right, last one for part 2 is number 9. It says Jim started out with $10 in his bank account and gives away $2 every day to charity. Sherry started out with $1 in her bank account but saves a fourth of a dollar every day. When will they have the same amount of money? Guesstimate based on your graph, of course, but now in part 2 we're not graphing it. We're actually going to solve it through substitution. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see. I think that I can select this problem. Here we go. Copy. All right, because my memory is not quite as good as it used to be, and even though I made this problem up, I'll forget it. There we go. That way I can always look back at it. So we've got Jim started out with $10 in his bank account, so that's his y-intercept. Let me create an equation for both of these. You could create an if-then table like I taught in class, but the idea is that you will get to a point to where you're able to just create an equation by looking at the problem. So Jim started out with $10 in his bank account. That's my y-intercept. And he gives away $2 every day. So that means that my slope is going to be a negative 2. And the reason why is because his money is going down. It's decreasing. It's going to decrease $2 every day. So that's his rate of change. So now let me create an equation for Sherry. Sherry started out with $1 in her bank account, right? Not starting off as good, but she is saving 1/4 of a dollar every day. So we've got her rate of change is that she will save. There's a couple ways you can think of this, is that she's saving a fourth dollar every day, but she's also saving $1 every 4 days because she saves 25 cents every day. If that's confusing to you, make an if-then table like I showed in class, and then that will help you see that your rate of change is 1/4. So now what we're going to do is we're going to solve this using substitution. So what that means is I know y equals all of this stuff, so I can sub all that stuff in for y, and whenever I do that, my equation is going to look like this, and I'm going to color code it. We've got 1/4x plus 1 equals negative 2x plus 10. And I'm going to pick a variable side and a number side, variable and number. And I'm going to get rid of anyone that's on the wrong side. So this positive 1 needs to go away. He's not a variable. So I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. And we've got 1/4x equals negative 2x. And 10 minus 1 is a positive 9. All right. And then I need to get rid of this negative 2x's, so I'll do the inverse, which is adding 2x's. So I'm going to add 2x's over here. All right, and again, here we have some fractions, so you're going to have to get comfortable with working with fractions. I'm going to take those fractions over here to the side, and I'm going to add them. Now, there's several ways that you could do this. I'm going to show you a way because this is easy. We're actually adding these two, so that makes it even easier on us. So my answer is going to be 2 1/4. But let's pretend that we were subtracting them or something like that. I'm going to show you a way where you have a common denominator, and you'd have to combine them. All right, so we've got 2, and I'm going to turn 2 into a fraction, so it's 2/1x. All right, so we have to make these guys have the same denominator. So that means between 4 and 1, they need to have the same denominator. So a common denominator would be 4. So the way that I go from 1 to 4 is I multiply times 4. Well, that means I have to multiply my numerator times 4 also. So 2 times 4 equals 8. All right, now it still equals the same thing. 8 divided by 4 is still 2. So I have not changed the value of it. I just made it have the same denominator so I can combine these two. All right. So now I'm ready to add them. Now my denominator doesn't change. It's a common denominator, so it stays the same. And I'm going to add 8 and 1, which is 9. So I have 9 over 4. But what I want to do is I want to turn that into a mixed number, or I can turn it into a mixed number. But you know what? Actually, I think I'm just going to leave this 9 over 4. 9 over 4x. Because that will be helpful later. So we've got 9 over 4x. Let me see what it equals. Equals a positive 9. All right, so now I want to get rid of that 9 over 4x. I'm sorry, I want to just get rid of the 9 over 4. I want to leave the x by itself. That 9 over 4 is actually multiplying because it's right up next to the x. You learned that back in 6th grade. So the opposite of multiplying a 9 over 4 is dividing a 9 over 4. So let me show you what that looks like. I'm going to divide by 9 over 4. Cross it out. And then I'm going to divide this by 9 over 4. And I'm going to turn that 9 into a fraction. And you got to think back to 6th grade. Most likely your teacher taught you keep it, change it, flip it. All right? So that means that the 9 over 1 stays the same. We're going to change the division to multiplication. And we're going to flip that last fraction to be 4 over 9. Now, you can simplify this and then multiply it, but you know what? I'm not even going to do that because I might lose you. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to multiply straight across. There is a simpler way to solve this, but I'm not going to go there. Okay, we're just going to pretend that you just need the basics. Okay, so 9 times 4 equals 36. And then 1 times 9 equals 9. So what we're left with is x equals 36 over 9. But 36 over 9 can be simplified because it can be divided perfectly. 36 divided by 9 equals 4. So we know that x equals 4. I've got half my answer. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up here at my original equations. Okay, here's my 2 original equations in the upper right-hand corner. I get to use either one of them that I want to try to find out what y is. And because I know that people hate working with fractions, I'm going to use this top one. And you have the choice. It doesn't matter which one you pick. You're going to still get the answer. So y equals negative 2x plus 10. So let me come down here. I've got y equals negative 2x plus 10. Let me make sure I wrote that down correctly. Let's see. Y equals negative 2x plus 10. Good. All right. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take x equals 4. I can put that in for x. So my equation is going to look like this. Y equals negative 2 times 4 plus 10. And I get to solve this out. So we've got negative 2 times 4 is a negative 8. And don't forget your plus 10. And don't forget your y equals. And so now y equals, we've got negative 8 and a positive 10. You learned in 7th grade that when you combine those, you're going to get a positive 2. So y equals 2. So now what your answer is for this one is x equals 4. See, because I got that right there. And y equals a positive 2. That's my solution right there.